Welcome to Vichy in the centre of France, our host for the 2025 Six Nations Under-18s Festival. Six Nations in the name, but 8 nations in reality. England and Scotland ready to do battle in a Calcutta coupe here today. But there is also Wales and Ireland to look forward to. So too France against New Boy Spain, and we just enjoyed Georgia against Italy, setting the tone for a day's running rugby in the blistering sun of the picturesque Vichy. The riches of rugby rivalries has existed between England and Scotland for so many years, and this fresh crop of under-18s look to write their young chapter into the annals. Here is how England shape up, and they're captained by Will Knight in the centre, who has Victor Warsnip for company. Outside of those two are the deadly threats of Charlie Tamani of Northampton Saints and Junior Denny of Gloucester. Two very different wingers, but both richly talented. Harry Wright was England's man of the match against Ireland in their recent warm-up, and Elliot Williams is the only player returning from last year's competition. In the same vein for Scotland, Christian Lindsay is their only returner. He captains the side, the Edinburgh and Musselburgh man, whilst Jack Utterson of Kelso is one of only 2 borderers, along with Rory McAfee of Peebles in the squad. And there is an English flavour to the centres, with Joe Taylor of Harlequins and Will Corbett of Bath Academy making up the midfield. Big benches all the way to 26. It is rolling substitutions when it comes to the Under-18s Festival, as this is a development tool, and we want to see as many young men get minutes on the field of play. Richly talented both benches. We have a local as our man in the middle, John Ibisate Alde of the French Federation. So he'll know these parts rather well. Vichy, for those of you who like the look of this weather, is one of the great spa towns of Europe, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But it'll feel like anything but a spa day this next 70 minutes. As Scotland and England kick off on match day 1 of the 2025 Six Nations Under-18 Festival. Scotland haven't beaten England at Under-18 age group since 2018. That was a team with the likes of Rufus McLean, Cam Henderson and Rory Darge, who may just be a Lion later this summer. Can these young Scots follow in their footsteps today? First line out of the day, Jack Utterson finds his man at the front and zipped away from the hands of Gregor Johnson. Oh, arcing round that outside centre channel. It was a nice break from Luca Matheson, but he had Victor Warsnip hanging around his waist. Good hit coming from England. And you can see the intensity of their press early. How about that for a clear out? Henry Laidlow taken off his feet, swung back, but now it's Scotland's turn to travel in reverse.
Number 7, tackle a player without the ball.
But Jack Lewis, who's still only 16 years old, showing a bit of that youthful exuberance in tackling a player without the ball. Touch, missed, unforgivably. Tried to chew off too large a chunk of the touchline, and then it's not collected cleanly. The ball jangling around and a big hit arriving just as it was finally pouched. Scotland under pressure, but driving their way forward. Very well done too. Double hits arriving from England. High up and under on the angle, straight out, and really you have to say that that is reward for England in the pressure they're applying, but also Scotland slightly the architects of their undoing by missing touch there. Keelan Freeman-Price of Gloucester wants a back row, now a hooker.
Play on.
Play on?
Advantage.
Now it is advantage for Scotland.
No advantage, okay?
Seemingly,
No come for wide.
the first mishandle adjudged to have been okay, but fortunately for Scotland, and I think for everyone, a second knock-on coming, and justice served.
Remember, okay?
Big expectation on England right now. 3 from 3 last year against Wales, Scotland and Georgia. I did suffer a couple of international series defeats to Ireland and South Africa later in the summer. Their last defeat in the festival was 2 years ago. That was to the host France. Stable scrum for Scotland to launch. Oh, the arrival was at such pace. Really, Scotland were lucky to only knock on and not wear a thunderous challenge. The timing was almost perfect. Very loose at the moment as both sides look to settle.
Number 5, Bulu, not rolling away, okay?
But the captain, Christian Lindsay, pinged for not rolling away. So a penalty to England.
You okay?
And they don't hesitate in indicating they're going to go to the corner. A second touch of the match missed, but almost a gift for England.
Okay.
And Junior Denny out there on that edge.
No, it was not gone, okay? No, it's okay. Let's stay here, okay?
So Scotland's desperation to keep the ball in play from the penalty almost saw them. Let Junior Denny in. Let's take a look.
Clear, break foot.
Batted back in. Pick-up was good from Denny. Cover defence, timely.
Sir, stability, okay?
Denny, an immensely athletic winger, tall, rangy. One of 5 under-17-year-olds in this England starting 15.
Up. Three, one.
Front rows
I want the stability.
of Logan
Okay,
Hendry,
long and
Jack
clear lines,
Utterson
okay?
and Jackson Rennie for Scotland. Whilst England present Alan Poku, Freeman Price and Harry Wright. And plenty of ballast
Bind.
and powerful rumps behind them all. Scotland getting the nudge,
Number 1 blue.
but illegally slow so by Logan Hendry. England into the midfield, demonstrating exquisite hands. Charlie Tamani, well, he took a couple of nibbles to gather and then shows his immense power and determination to reverse his way across the line, and with a couple of Scots hanging from his frame.
Number 1 blue cross. Okay.
Well, I told you he was deadly. I didn't know he could do it whilst travelling backwards. Awkward pass, gathered, class upon, 1, 2, 3 Scots upon him, but still with the power to make it to the paint. 16 years old, what a prospect.
20 seconds, right?
Well, almost swerved left to right, but Oscar Talbot misses the mark. First points of the match to England. Just a glint of their backline ambition and the threat that is looming large on that left wing. Kickoff is put upon Tamani, who leaves it for his teammate
No.
and gets clobbered into touch. That was a fabulous kickoff. Could say that England could have been more authoritative, but you have to pay all credit to the positioning and the hang time on the kick.
Come on.
Utterson again finds his man with ease at the front. England look to have got an arm in to spoil that. Scotland frantic to get it free from their grip, and they do so, and they enter the 22. Two-man hits from England again, who are painting a clear picture of release and desire to get jackling the ball. The big arms don't come swinging down this time, so Utterson drives on. More good work moving right. Johnston looking to drive the tempo, but a shuddering hit dislodges the ball from Hendry's grip. Now it's Denny combining with his backs. Oh, the offloading is exquisite. Sublime rugby in the sun from England. Junior Denny just lifts one through the skylight. End-to-end, exhilarating handling from England. And Oscar Talbot rounds off the try of the day so far. undefendable. Warsnip arriving, freeing up the hands. Mears working hard in support. Vic's the last man. Brought in Denny, who just popped it over the tackles that were arriving safely to Talbot. And he will now make it a dozen points in under 10 minutes. England on top early.
Okay, time off. 11.
Two involvements from Denny, who worked hard to get back into the play. You see him there in the background. He's got up,
Time on.
he's stuck to his edge. And he's so awkward because he's so tall.
Back up. Back.
Scotland haven't done a huge amount wrong here,
Backwards.
but England, with their two attacking attempts,
Available.
have been flawless.
No. Left up. Are you sure? Okay. It's over there? Good. Okay. Time off.
An injury to one of the England players. Number 8, George Marsh,
Okay.
of the Leicester Tigers. He's played England under-19s this year. There's a couple in the ranks. Him and James
Are you okay?
Hayter
Oh, okay.
among them. That young man there, he's an under-17-year-old. So a few more years on the clock for him. England, of course, are the under-20 World Rugby champions. They'll be heading to Italy
Okay.
to attempt to
Opening
defend
up.
their crown,
Water out, please.
but they
Time on.
won't have the likes of some of their big guns. Asher Opoku for Jaw, Afo for Sogbon, and Henry Pollock among those graduating from the class of 2024, but it leaves the pathway clear for the next in white or in blue. Oh, it's a gift. Telegraphed, signed, sealed, delivered by Junior Denny.
Number 14.
England are having fun in the French sun.
14 wide, 5 points. Over there.
Just that pump gave Denny the time that he needed. He's a rangy figure. Wasn't even at full stretch, but plucked it. And then there was only one outcome.
Number 10.
And Talbot
10 wide, 2 points.
adds a second conversion. England 19 points with less than 13 minutes of the match played.
Inside.
A mountain to climb
Back up.
early
No hands.
in this 70-minute match for Scotland. And England, as you can imagine,
Back on.
are full of ambition. Freddie Ogden-Metherell of Gloucester carrying through the middle. And it's the big boys doing the damage through the guts that are allowing the likes of Keelan Freeman, Price and the Packs to express themselves out wide. Scotland survey the scene.
Get out.
Boot to ball, find some green grass, and a nice run as well.
We are outside. Back. Back.
That is a cannon of a boot, and that is one of the biggest 50-22s you will see at any level of rugby.
Well done. Well done. Yeah.
A bazooka of a boot from England, and they are banging at the Scots' defensive door once more.
Be careful on the front, okay? Here up. 6. Hey, 10 meters. 9. 10 meters, okay?
Freeman Price
Ball.
to the front. He'll receive it on the short edge, backing his one-on-one power,
Back.
but desperate defence from Scotland. Johnston arriving in the nick of time.
It's the back.
Well, slight loss of rhythm on the carry, but no absence of muscle. It is pure power from England,
5 points.
and it is try number 4 within a quarter of an hour of the match played. Scotland had weathered the initial storm, but they didn't stand a hope of repelling young Jack Lewis, the Northampton Saint. That is a big 16-year-old. Talbot turns 5-7. And England now have 26 points in 16 minutes. Tamani knocks the ball on from the kick, and Scotland has some cherished time on the ball in the England half.
No. Advantage over.
Nice step inside from Will Corbett of Wellington School.
Enough.
Now it's the arrival of Utterson,
No, release.
who wears a shuddering shot from the English back row. Cute ball over the top on the angle. That's interesting. Tamani slightly caught out for a moment,
No.
but the touchline coming to England's rescue.
Here, okay? Keep it up, okay? Ball! Advantage! High tackle!
Scotland forced to go high.
Here, here.
Tough because Jack
Okay,
Lewis went
okay,
in
high tackle.
incredibly low.
High tackle from Blue.
How do you stop him when he gets the pistons pumping? Talbot's looking an assured presence, isn't he, in that 10 jersey?
Blue on the line. 1 meter, okay? Open. Open. No. Right,
Jackson
open
Rennie.
the gap. 1 meter. Open.
The man pinged for that challenge on Lewis. England comfortable to go from the tail, and they are delivering some interesting shapes in the midfield. Very tricky to pick up defensively. Denny goes to the boot. The ricochet goes the way of England, and they're once again threatening from the outskirts of the Scottish 22. Big, meaty carries arriving from the pack in the form of Harry Wright. Now, to their big weapon, the backs.
Release, tackle.
Freeman Price gets picked up and driven back, but England still have lightning quick ball to work with. Talbot on the wraparound. One last pass will do it. And Henry Laidlow, another under 17-year-old, showing that the future is very bright for the men in white. Well, England are precise, they're handling crisp, and right now, super ruthless.
Yeah. After commercial, water break, yeah.
And you hear there,
Okay.
through the referee's mic, that we're going to have a water break in a moment. Such are the hot conditions here for the under-18s. Talbot adds the extras.
Okay, water break.
And it seems ironic that we're having a water break because
2 minutes for water.
both England and Scotland have been afforded 5 of them so far.
Okay, 2 minutes for water.
But for Scotland, that has come hand in hand with 5 tries conceded. It has been an English blitz in the opening 20 minutes. And at 33-0, they're pretty much out of sight.
We need water too. I feel you over. Yeah. Vale. 2 minutes. Okay. I think so. Thanks, Max. Is it okay? Three penalties? Three penalties, yes. 3-4. Okay. I have like 15 left. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Additional liquid taken on board and a chance for Scotland to regather. For England, that chat would have been a case of we changed nothing. More of the same, but more.
Wait until the whistle, okay? Yeah, okay.
5 tries
Time on.
shared around the backs and forwards. Scotland restarting the first half with 15 minutes to go, trailing by 33.
Tackle.
Victor Warsnip puts the footwork on. Talbot puts the side of the boot on. Scotland have a great launch pad here.
Okay. Come on.
Line-out's been good for Scotland so far. Option offered at the front, and it does go there. Scotland are immediately looking for width, but they can't preserve possession in the contact. England have proven themselves to be deadly in transition. Denny gets the chicken wing working this time. And while the offload sticks, there just isn't enough room.
Okay. Okay, okay. Thanks, thanks. Time off.
Bit of attention required. for Victor
no.
Warsnip, who is
Okay.
making his first start
No, no, water out.
since
Scotland, out,
South
water out,
Africa
please.
last August. He's had
Time on, time on,
a dreadful time with injuries,
time
the
on.
Bristol Bear. But he's back, starting in white once again, and he's been involved
No,
in a
forward.
few of the tries.
Tackle.
Scotland are yet to
Advantage,
carve
not rolling away.
a true try-scoring opportunity out.
Advantage, not rolling away.
They're playing rugby in heavy weather, but that's a nice line, asking questions of the English midfield. Corbett in against the grain. Scotland, that beyond the halfway line.
Okay,
They had the penalty
not rolling
advantage.
away.
Just a hint
Okay.
from Gregor Johnston
Thank you, Gam. Not rolling away.
about going quickly, but instead he asked his half-back partner Henry Widdowson to find touch, and a good one he does.
Thanks. Yeah, okay. Stay on the front, okay? Come on. 6.
Again, plenty of joy at the line-out for Scotland, who now get a chance to flex their mauling muscles. England infiltrate it though. And George Marsh is all over it. Scrum awarded to Scotland and the moment gone.
You go out with him, okay? Kick me, okay? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Last penalty was because of that, okay? 1, 3. Both of you, okay? Straight. Yeah, square. That's better, okay? Keep there. Road! Boy! So! It's okay.
Penalty to England. And an easy escape. Talbot is, he's got his angles figured out, hasn't he?
No, 11.
Ambitious kicking out of hand rewards England. So they have to bat that one back. To Marnie, you don't want to give him any space at all. This kid's a cheat code.
Back on.
But he gets brought down. Denny sticks out one long sticky paw to reel a ball in, miles behind him.
Release.
Now England revert back to their structure. Forwards and backs offering threats. Outstanding steal at the breakdown. Scotland, now it's their turn to play in transition. The ball offloaded round the back of the tackle. Wonderful light hands from Lindsay. Scotland beginning to play some rugby. Slaloming through the forest of white jerseys. Marsh makes the hit. Rolls out of the way in laboured fashion that just delays Scottish ball by a beat. Over the top they go. That's inventive. Oh, it's glorious. But the whistle goes.
11 blue.
And
11 blue upside.
apparently for offside. England aren't going to hang around and seek clarification. But it's watchful work out wide from Lloyd Moncrief. The Calder Glen High School 8 wraps up Junior Denny. But how about this for a bit of an invention? Almost worked.
10 left, okay? Good. Now play.
The timing slightly off.
Now we wanna play.
Scotland ultimately conceding a
Now play
penalty.
on. Hey, opening up.
Well, it was hesitant, and there was an air of Scotland not knowing what they were doing with that move. They do emerge with possession, but immediately
Okay, first,
then knock it forward.
Knock on from white. Knock on from blue. Scrum blue, okay?
There were 33 points in the first 20 minutes of the match.
Scrum blue.
Not one in the next 7. What did they put in those waters?
Yeah.
We want the
Nice.
running
I
rugby
want the
back.
stability, okay? Last one here was okay. Keep it like that.
However, this will very much suit Scotland, who've
Number 9.
stemmed the flow.
9, here, please. You have to tap here. Good! Yes! Point! Set!
Johnston, the Glasgow Warrior under 18-year-old, doesn't even get the chance
Go down. Yeah. Pause
to
and go
crouch down
Captain.
to feed the ball into the scrum.
Penalty from the same reason, okay? Number 3, collapse the scrum.
Jackson Rennie,
Okay, Captain.
the man identified as the culprit.
Be careful with the penalties.
Scotland with an informal warning as well. England enter the Scottish 22 once more. They've delivered 5 tries this half.
First stop. First stop.
There's a 6
Stop, 5.
in their immediate future. The handling, the shapes are so intricate, and Charlie Tamani is utterly unstoppable. The Northampton Saint coming from range and just skittling Scottish defenders. The tackling was tepid, but the power was awesome, and Tamani has a double. England up to 40. 6 minutes of the first half remaining.
Okay, good.
One crumb of cup for Scotland is their line out has been faultless.
Yeah, for me
Their
too,
handling in looking to get the ball wide, on the other hand, less so.
Back up.
Rory McAfee getting onto the loose ball. He's been living off scraps, the fullback. Drifted over the top. That's nice from Scotland.
5 minutes left. Okay, 5 minutes.
A bit of urgency at the arrival of the breakdown. Scotland are so flat, though. And it is in no small part to the voraciousness of England's defence.
Okay. 14 in front.
Well,
okay.
they're being driven back at a rate of knots. The line was flat. They went for the crossfield, and Luca Mathieson, judged to have been in front. So another penalty for England. Their red zone efficiency, red hot. And another line out in the 22.
Captain, man from Mel, sorry.
England wrapping round the corner, delivering big men at seams, and Scotland almost split. The arrival of more ballast, more brawn in whites. England surging towards the Scottish line once more, seeking a 7th.
It's available.
And they get it.
Okay, we won.
The speed of ball, the velocity of the carries. Scotland were always scrambling.
3 minutes left, okay? Roman, 3 left, okay? 3 left.
Well, it looks like an awkward placement from George Marsh, but the referee right on the spot and happy to award the man from Denston England's 7th try. Talbot does the rest from the tee. And England are 3 shy of a half century in a first half.
Now we have 2.5, wait. Step back. Inside. Now it's okay. Now.
England oozing confidence with the ball in hand, but inaccurate as they rip one left to right. Denny attempts an offload that no coach would be that happy with in a 22. Somehow he manages to keep the ball stuck in his mitt.
Back up. 9, use it.
Stripped by Scotland before losing it forward. England kick away the advantage, and Scotland have a bit of room to strike now. Surveying the scene, picking their moment, targeting the shoulder of Tamani. But he shows he's just as good, both sides of the ball. Awkward situation there from Warsnip, who came in for the ball for the man. It was mistimed, and the assistant is in.
Who made the tagger? Number white, and it's the blue. That's penalty, okay? Okay, thanks. Okay. High tagger from white, okay?
And here it was the loose ball. Not sure he's trying to do that. I think he was banking on it popping into his hands before he made the hit. But Scotland now, the dying embers of the first half. Can they get something positive to take into the halftime huddles? Rennie. Now the forward just slipping the ball, no look out the back. The long ball is on the bootstraps of Will Corbett, who can't gather it cleanly.
Last play. Last play. Great. I want the stability, okay? Yeah. Okay. You bind long? Yeah. And up. Okay. Yeah, please. Okay.
It'll be the final play. It is a half that belongs unequivocally to England.
Bind! Set!
And it is one that they will also close with one extra player. More problems for Scotland to solve. They will start the second half and see most of the start.
We need a replacement for number 3.
With only 14 on the field, they're going to have to make a replacement as well
It's a penalty, okay?
to be able to complete the scrum. So things going from bad to worse.
Stop.
Ollie Anderson,
Do you ask for a scrum? No, no.
the Edinburgh tight head.
Yeah. No scrum? Okay, no, wait. No, my fault, okay. No scrum, number 18 out, okay?
Is going to be
Okay,
sent
sorry.
back across
No
the
scrum,
touchline
just
because
penalty,
England are not going to take the scrum. Instead, they're going to say, enough's enough. 47 points in 35 minutes. We will take that.
My fault.
And look at the energy in that England team, bounding off.
I hear a scrum, so
Full of beans and with a full scoreboard, leading 47-0 at the break. the tallest of tasks for this young Scottish team to rally in this second half, trailing 47 points to 0 at the break. England were exceptional.
It's great. English captain. Good. Okay, time on.
Second half of England v Scotland in the 2025 Six Nations Under-18s Festival is underway, and the ball is in the hands of England. It's jingling and jangling around, and it was almost an 8th try right from the get-go after a knock-on from Scotland on the reception.
Knock on blue, knock on white.
Wow, that is precisely
Substitution,
what Scotland did not want.
We need front row, number 3.
And from that knock-on, we are going to be forced to have a replacement. I think that Ollie Anderson
7 and 7, okay? Yeah.
of Stuart Melville College is finally going to get onto the field. Lloyd Moncrief will be sacrificed while the yellow card is served. Jackson Rennie, the man in the bin. England stepping back and adding depth upon depth upon depth. Tamani lurks on the inside shoulder of Oscar Talbot.
Keep it there.
Off go England, out the back, a dummy from Talbot, Tamani ignored, and Talbot fork lifted by 3 Scotsmen who deliver him to the deck and are forced to release. England continue rounds to the right. More muscular D offered by the Scots. Light hands from England, and it pops up into Scottish hands. Just reward for watchful and abrasive challenges. Harry Laidlow, the second row, attempting to hold up his man. Try score in the first half. And a fine clearance from Scotland under immense pressure there. Defensive grit on show from the dark blue jerseys of Scotland.
Stop. Guys, dig up, okay? Stop.
Line-out's been excellent from both sides today. Mears fizzes it away. England out to the midfield. Slight lack of fluency. For once, not every individual knowing their role. England played with such freedom of ambition in that first half. Forwards and backs linking in unison. Again, the handling not precise. But Laidlow does very, very well from a standing start. Large frame. The Harlequin.
Advantage. You're playing on the floor.
Well, it was advantage to Scotland for the knock-on, and they do get the knock-on. They do get the advantage because England then play the ball on the floor. Scotland have come into this excited. They said that, spoke before, their preparation's gone well. They've had warm-ups against Wales, Newcastle Falcons and Scotland under-19s. But the preparation can be as good as can be. If it doesn't click on the day, it can make for a long afternoon in the hot, hot sun of central France. Vichy, just north of some of the hotbeds of French rugby.
No, 7, it's 7. No, 7.
If you're not familiar,
No, 7
about
versus 7.
an hour's drive from Clermont-Ferrand.
Okay, it's 7 against 7. No. Other
Over
rules, okay?
Clermont-Auvergne
Guys, the last one was great, okay? Keep the elbow up.
and
okay?
northwest of Lyon.
Shoot!
So a lot of interest in rugby around these parts, and they'll be packed in to see Les Bluets up against Spain, who make their tournament bow later on today.
Thanks.
Well, England's precision has evaded them. Charlie Tamani beats one, beats a second, maintains his balance, blasts through a third, offloads to a friend, collects the next loose ball, and Charlie Tamani is not going to get a triple just yet because he offloads selflessly as he tumbled towards the try line. England past the 50 mark, and Isaac Mears, like every good scrum half should do, on the trailing support line, and he receives a little present from the powerhouse Saint, who started it all. Looked like he was going to finish it all. It was a marvellous tap tackle. Isaac Mears, though, gets on the end, and England have their first points of the second half. Talbot sneaks one inside the right upright, and judging by his change of direction, that'll be his last effort. Tamani, he was tackled 3 times but still managed to get going, then battled to get back into the play. I think if he'd known where the line was, he may have rolled one more and finished his hat-trick. He's not going to get the opportunity to do so because it looks like he may be among the changes.
Okay, time on.
Or is he? England commit the cardinal sin of allowing the kickoff to bounce, but when it's your day, it's your day. And England continue to make hay while the central French sun shines. Freddie Ogden-Metherall, the Gloucester second row, all 6'8" of him, is felled and gives away a penalty.
Number 8, ready to do the floor.
Changing personnel in the 10 jersey for England. Hugh Shields on wearing 23. So we did see in the earlier game between Georgia and Italy, the one that Italy triumphed in with 5 tries. And as with all replacements, the rhythm of the match is somewhat disrupted, particularly so at under-18 level. Can England maintain their flow? Or can Scotland use their replacements to breathe a bit of oxygen into their fight? Available on the floor for Scotland, held on though.
Number 4, side entry.
Ogden-Metherall penalised again. Back-to-back penalties for the 6'8" second row, who, believe it or not, was once upon a time a jockey. And then he started playing the game 2 years ago. Not many 6'8" jockeys out there. Scotland, as close as they've been all match, they go to their captain, their banker Lindsay in the middle. And the blue wave forms around him. Can it wash across the English try line? White jerseys melded in, and they may just be reduced here to 14. The double blast is never promising.
Enough, okay? We have like 3-4 minutes, 2 penalties in a row. It's enough, okay? Have a word.
Will Knight is given the warning.
Here with me, okay?
So England on their last rights as far as the referee's pocket is concerned.
Cross entry. Come on. Okay. Tell me the number. Color.
And Henry Widowson,
11, 12, replacement. 11, 12, substitution.
probes Scotland
11, 12.
to as close as they've been all match.
11, 12.
Glenn Gamble
11 and 12.
is making way, so too Joe Taylor for Scotland.
And where is it? Lo eso, okay. I was getting confused with the 15, okay? What? I was getting confused with number 15. Okay. It's okay, Roman? Okay. Time on.
And number 24, Harry Clark, is on. Off the top, but not straight, just as Clark was revving into gear
Captain.
from the midfield.
Captain. Line up the scrum.
England get the option, they opt for the scrum.
Let's go, Let's go.
And it looks like they've run the changes in the front row as well. Sam Bland at tight head, and Bishop Wands and Harlequins Gerald Gorlicu in at hooker. Hugely powerful and dynamic man. He's also capable at prop. Well, it's not an easy passage for the ball. It gets tangled in the limbs, and it's a free kick to Scotland. And is this their time to get some points on the board? This is better from the men in blue. Ollie Anderson. Now the pick and drive, tight to the line. Harvey Preston, as close as Scotland have been, but held up heroically so by England. Scotland within a whisker, but denied on the line.
Step back. Whenever you want.
Well, it's not the longest of goal line clearances, is it? That was begging for an offload, and it eventually arrived in the form of Preston, who's had a good few minutes. Oh, a scything line from the blind spot. The English defence razored open, and Scotland have something to sing about in the sun at long, long last. It took a bit of guile and no shortage of searing pace from Rory McAfee. And the Peebles man gets Scotland on the board.
Okay. Later on, okay.
Who needs a fly half when you got Christian Lindsay in at first receiver? The big second row manipulating the English defence. And the flying fullback finishing the job.
20 seconds.
Just the 5
14
for Scotland,
Substitution.
but points nevertheless.
Okay. Substitution, mate. Okay. Left, right. Okay. Inside.
Hammered. And well held.
No hands, no hands.
A much better performance from Scotland
No.
in this opening
Take it in.
14 minutes. England looking a lot less slick than they did. Must not take away from England just how fine they were in that first 35 minutes. 70-minute matches at under-18s level.
We are in.
It's going to be a grueling few days. It's going to be a fabulous few days for all these young men pulling on their country's jersey. Scotland are beginning to express themselves. Clark chips over the top, but well covered across. It was wonderful positioning, but the pass that followed, not a match to that positioning. Clearly forward. And England's
Number 8, number 4.
a little error-strewn in this second half
8
so
and 4.
far.
Substitution. 8 and 4. Yeah, we have another injured player there. Time up. Time up, okay? Roman, which substitution here? Oh, it's okay.
Awkward collision there.
Yeah.
With Lloyd Moncrief
Yeah, tell me.
of Calder Glen High School.
Tell me the numbers.
He's already missed the portion of the
15.
match as he had to ride the pine whilst the sin bin
Number 4, number 8.
of Jackson Rennie was served.
Okay. Here, let's come. Number 8.
The referee takes this injury as an opportunity for the second and final
Substitution, okay?
water break of the match. No,
Let's come
I beg
here,
your pardon.
Forward pass. It's for you, yeah.
Replacements coming on. A raft of changes in both white and blue. One of those is James Townsend wearing 22 for England on for Isaac Mears.
Okay.
Matthew Branch Holland as well, packing down in the number 8 position.
Shoot! Bind! Set! Stable! Go spin up! Go spin up! Yes! Runner! Yes!
England conceding a free kick. It was one-way traffic.
Okay.
Done so in illegal fashion.
Oh.
Penalty, I beg your pardon.
Number 1. Yeah, it's penalty. Not free kick, it's penalty. Number 8. Number 1. Or loose head.
Number 1 the call, but I think that Ollie Spencer is on at loose head now, wearing 17. Well, half the English back row wasn't even attached by the conclusion of that scrum. That was the power, or the illegally generated power.
Stop.
Scotland really with a bit of zip in their heels now.
It's available, no.
Accelerating to the English line. That was a pressure pass, and it's a second intercept picked off by England and punished by Zach Finch. The Zach attack strikes for England, and it is try number 9.
Yeah. I mean, minutes 15, okay?
Scotland
3 minutes more.
were looking good.
Okay.
They were flying onto the
And 3
ball.
minutes, water break. Okay?
But again,
Everyone?
too much
3
risk.
minutes more and water break. Okay.
And Zach Finch doing just as Junior Denny did in the first half, snaffling an intercept.
Yes?
Then his fly half, adding the extras. England 61, Scotland 5. 17.5 minutes to play.
Scotland, left, right. More.
More called from the kick.
More, it's available.
Ball somehow
available,
available.
Lucy.
How of England?
Vantage.
broken that free. Well, there's advantage here for England. Looked like a committed counter ruck from Scotland.
But first is cross entry from loose.
But it's about the entry, and England are now about the tempo. Fast hands.
Okay.
Dummy sold, but not bought by the Scottish defence. A lot of white jerseys here if the hands can get going. Little tip off the shoulder. England with a renewed vigour.
Tackle not rolling away.
Out to the second layer. No options outside, so heads back into heavy traffic. Oh, an explosion onto the ball.
Tackle.
From range, just about across the halfway line. The Scottish defence holding firm, but are they going to be unpicked now by the brilliant hands of England? Finch, the latest scorer, upended. Townsend. Brilliant hands, wonderful grasp at pace. England, plenty of phases, not many metres, but now they pierce the Scottish line. The inside ball working for them almost to as good an effect as it did Scotland for their try.
Okay, number 20, not rolling away. Number 20, not rolling away.
Will Lockhart's of Boroughmuir, not rolling away.
Tell me, substitution.
And England's deep into Scottish territory.
England, number 13. 13, substitution.
Victor Walsnip,
Nice.
and his first
Yeah,
start
wait.
in approaching a year
Wait, no,
for
no, no.
England
Time
comes
out.
to a close,
Wait until he leaves the field.
and he'll be delighted to have got
Time on.
55 good minutes under his belt and emerge unscathed. Gorleku wraps around,
Double movement on the lineup, okay? Tap, tap.
but he is penalised for a dummy throw.
No.
Don't see that too often. Gorleku, though, found guilty of the sin. Game is opening up, the structure breaking down. Gorleku takes out his throwing frustration with a big hit in the midfield.
Hey.
Out the back, Scotland go. They break down the English defence who are doglegging. Tamani is in a battle to race back. The offload arrives. Still there for Scotland, who gather. Now width offered. Now the forwards arriving. Oh, but the impact sees the ball dislodged. A promising break
Water break.
breaks down
Water break.
in the hands of Dan Casserly.
Make the substitution now, okay? Nah.
For the first time,
Do it now, the substitution.
Scotland had fashioned a fracture in the English defence. They poured through, but credit to Tamani, who had the pace on his man.
It's clear for you? No.
And we will have that second water break. And when we resume,
I need a bit of
we'll have
water.
13 and a half minutes remaining of the match.
Thanks. Do you think too many penalties? Who told me the whole movement? Okay. Thanks. Okay. So guys, let's go. Okay. Yeah. I will look forward, okay? Okay. We'll go.
Final instalment of England against Scotland in the opening match day of the Six Nations Under-18s Festival.
We're inside. Yeah.
Ready to recommence. England with an exhilarating first half. 47 points scored unanswered.
Stability, okay?
Scotland bared their teeth a little more in this second stanza.
Stay ball.
Try from Rory McHaffey is their sole scoreboard offering. England and Tamati continue to threaten. Tamani declined the opportunity for a hat-trick. Oh, that's exquisite. No look, off the shoulder. This deserves to be finished if England can keep composed. Like a bull in a Scottish china shop. Into the 22 England go. The dummy kick, the long miss, drifted ball. That is England at their very best. Archie Appleby gets on the end of a move that had it all. And England have yet another here in France.
Close to the line, okay?
Well, an off-the-shoulder ball that did the cameraman. Careering into the Scottish 22, and then the pass picked. Appleby at full stretch. And then it was easy street from there. Well, he knew for the moment it left his boot, Hugh Shields. Ten tries now for England. Appleby's effort takes them into double figures. Well, Spain, who are up next against France, will be watching on with some discomfort at the prospect of facing England in their next match.
No, the limit is over here now.
Scotland.
Okay. High tiger from
They have an equally daunting prospect of playing Ireland on match day 2. 4-day turnarounds here at the competition, so it's going to be a real examination of depth in the squads, and also an opportunity for young men to get plenty of minutes. The end of the competition is for exposure. It's for development. Every player should get a start.
Now, yeah.
Scotland get a line out steal. Not seen many of those today. The aerial set piece has been outstanding from both.
Offside. Offside.
Scotland are beginning to play a little bit more. They may have just conceded,
Offside, advantage, blue.
but there is a greater sense of fluency.
Blue playing advantage.
Advantage there for them. No way through the white wall. Back for the penalty we come.
Yeah. Offside from white.
Well into the last 10 minutes of
Yeah,
the
we
match
need
now.
this.
A reminder that 70-minute matches for the Under-18s festival. And England, who warmed up with a loss in Cork to Ireland, have taken out some of their frustrations here on a different set of Celts. Off the top goes Scotland, but
It's really not a trade, okay?
throw not straight.
Half time. Line out the scrum. Okay. Here to it. You are okay like this, okay? 9. Close to him, good. Root! Boy! Set! You see?
Scrum has been strong from both sides, and it's a stable platform for England to bring in some complex shapes. Tamani opts to hold on, and at long last, a first up tackle sticks on the threatening Seine. England rather sort of swim through the tackles, ball's left behind, and Scotland pounce.
No. White. Scotland, number 7, substitution. Okay, number 7.
Scotland's Harvey Preston. He's going to get a rest for the final moments of this match.
The play on.
And Captain
First
Will
not on
Knight,
white,
they're
then
the
not
guilty
on blue.
party, though a combination of his run and the pass being a
I
touch
don't want
behind
any
him
angle from
at
you, okay?
pace.
Keep it straight. Thanks.
Will Knight, he's played for England under-19s already. He's even trained with the 20s as well. There's a lot of excitement, quite how high his ceiling is. His brother Max will be competing for Hartbury in a Buck Super Rugby final next week against Loughborough. So a lot of rugby to celebrate in the Knight family at the moment.
Yes. Nah, it was forward, okay? It was clearly forward. Okay. New scrum here. Here, guys. No come by blue. Here. No. Outside, yeah. You are outside, okay? You're taking it. You are taking it.
Let's go, front row, let's go another one, eh?
Good!
Let's go, Chaz!
Bind! Set!
England break away with their scrum under duress. They do have advantage here as Scotland battle on the floor. And we come back.
Number 1.
Approaching the final 5 minutes, and a lot of the rhythm gone from the game, but not an ounce of the physicality.
Stop! Hey, no.
Fighting through the challenges go England. Ollie Spencer swatting away Scotsman. But again, the imprecision that has plagued England since the half-time break
It's touch it outside, okay?
returns.
White on the mark. Blues.
You understand some of the intensity dropping from the game with the scoreboard as it is, but I imagine that England and Jonathan Pendlebury will probably spend more of their time analysing this second half and where they let themselves down. Still a commanding performance for England and auspicious signs for the rest of the festival.
Advantage.
Well, it is loosey-goosey out there, isn't it?
Number 2.
And the referee's whistle is getting the biggest work out.
Now, 10 meters here, now 10 meters more, okay? Yeah. Number 2, no 10 meters.
Scotland see yellow. Reduced for the closing stanza
Luca, keep
of
an
a
eye.
half once again, just as they were in the first half. And England with a line out, 7 metres from the Scottish line. This was their try-scoring playground in the first half. Gorleku finds his man. England wrap around to the short side. Gorleku won't be stopped from point-blank range. And the hooker gets England's 11th try
5 minutes left, okay?
of the afternoon.
5 left, yeah.
Bishop One's finest. Wasn't going to miss from there. The posts evade Hugh Shields once again. Great attempt. The cover tackle from Max Morrison.
Okay. 4.5, okay? Keep there.
Gorleku is a tough man to tackle at the best of times, let alone from 1 metre out.
Tackle.
England 71, Scotland 5. And England beginning to rev the engine late in this contest. The replacement, the intercept architect, Zach Finch, goes weaving through the Scottish arms, but finds himself isolated and holding on.
Holding on. Oh, I don't see clearly, okay? Not clear for me. Here. In this section. Oh, I didn't see the way. But thanks, Captain. Thanks, the way. Okay. No. Step here. White. White.
Enterprising play from England once more. The blueprint, forwards and backs, playing rugby as if they don't have numbers on the backs of their jerseys. Fine all-round skill set, but Finch caught on his own. Final moments. And Scotland looking to double their try-scoring tally. Lovely stop and start and a hitch forward. Nice glimpse of the talents of Luca Mathieson. English arms pour through. Ball spills loose. There for England. Finch bouncing around. Shovels it on. Bit more direct.
No, they hit the floor.
From Henry Laidlow. And now it's instinct, now it's invention.
No advantage.
Well, no advantage.
It's clear, okay, for you. Look at here. Now go my blue. No advantage, okay?
You would suspect that this will be the last play of the match.
2.5 left, okay?
2.5 left.
We need a hookah.
So, a little bit more to go.
Okay. Okay. Stability, okay? Keep it square. Huge! Mind! Safe!
England flash the ball left, silky hands, Charlie Tamani. He's threatened a hat-trick all day. He looks to battle through a bevy of Scottish bodies.
No.
An Englishman was arriving at high velocity, but he couldn't quite hold on to the loose ball.
Okay. Cool. Number 2's coming back.
And I think all the players out there would be happy for an early whistle now.
1 minute left, okay?
Blisteringly hot out there. Water breaks in effect. That tells you the tale.
Problem solved, no? Okay.
Let's get one more. Let's go. Time. That's all, Thurs. Second. Well done.
Crouch!
Down.
Move! Set!
Scotland mix it up with a chip over the top. Collected as well.
Offside.
England with an undefended backfield. A spun on their heels. It's a committed chase and charge from Scotland. And that'll be the final act of a Calcutta Cup contest that was England's from the very start. It was a first half blitz from England that saw them lead 47-0 at the break. Charlie Tamani caught the eye with 2 tries in the first half. And it was 11 in total for those young men in white. And it's victory over Scotland on match day 1 of the Six Nations Under-18s Festival 2025. England victorious over Scotland, 71 points to 5.
Dans un peu moins d'une heure maintenant, le début du troisième match de la journée, ce troisième match qui va voir s'opposer l'équipe de France à l'Espagne. L'équipe de France qui affronte l'Espagne à 16h15, mais d'ici là, vous pouvez profiter de toute notre offre de restauration et de boissons. Pour la restauration, vous pouvez vous rendre à l'arrière de la tribune pour retrouver toute la partie restauration salée, mais également les crêpes qui vous attendent. Profitez de cet après-midi ensoleillé pour passer un bon moment ici au stade Louis d'Aragon de Vichy pour cette première journée du festival des 6 Nations U18. 16h15, le premier match de nos Bleus et le premier match de l'équipe de France face à l'équipe d'Espagne. It's now the time for the team announcements. C'est maintenant le moment des compositions d'équipe. Et nous allons commencer avec la composition de l'équipe de France. And we start with France. Le numéro 1, number 1, Amir Atoua. Le numéro 2, number 2, Johnny Duffy. Le numéro 3, number 3, Noah Giniello. Le numéro 4, number 4, Oscar Boutez. Le numéro 5, number 5, Christian Mendes Dani. Le numéro 6, number 6, Mathis Argenton. Le numéro 7, number 7, Vichy. Le numéro 8, capitaine, number 8, captain, Lilian Bay. Le numéro 9, number 9, Valentin Hutto. Le numéro 10, number 10, Mayan Faye. Le numéro 11, number 11, Gauthier Saute. Le numéro 12, number 12, Virgile Gros. Le numéro 13, number 13, Noam Valleux. Le numéro 14, number 14, Nathan Coutin. Et le numéro 15 de cette équipe de France, number 15, Joachim Sangakuo-Gilbert. Les finisseurs pour l'équipe de France, finishers for France, number 16, numéro 16, Achille Stussel. Numéro 17, number
Welcome to Vichy and the return of the Six Nations Under-18s Festival to the country of France. Our hosts and one of the teams taking to the field here on match day number 1 of 3. The famous blue of the French. The reigning Six Nations Under-20 champions. The reigning Six Nations senior champions. And while there'll be no champion crowned here today, France will look to continue in the same Six Nations winning vein. But beware the new nation, Spain making their festival debut against the mighty France here in Vichy. Time in Six Nations Under-18s Festival history, the Anthem of Spain rings round the competition as they make their championship bow. In front of them is a richly talented France Under-18s side with no shortage of top 14 espoir among them. 2 from Toulouse, 3 from La Rochelle, Brive, Bordeaux and Racing 92, all represented, and so too 3 from Pro de Deux in the starting 15. Remy Couty of Aurillac and Valentin Houteau, the scrum half. The captain is Liliane Barret, who will wear the number 8 jersey. For Spain, there is a huge focus on Spanish selection. There's a number of French-based players who have been overlooked for this festival as they look to back the work of their national academy. They were second at the Rugby Europe Under-18 Championship, and they have a first ever Spanish call-up for Lucas Oficial Martin at prop. In the engine room they have Markel Odrizola, who is plying his rugby trade at Biarritz. There's a number of silver medalists from that Under-18s final, and that includes their captain Aurélien Marcignac, who is the outstanding choice in the back line and earmarked to feature in the Under-20s World Rugby Championship later this summer. Kieran Stark of Scotland will purse his lips in the middle. For the clash of these two neighbouring countries. But history tells us our gulfs apart in rugby. Spain have never beaten France. However, there There is always time for a first, and they will be buoyed by the memory that it was France who fell to Georgia as they entered the competition for the very first time, this time last year. The early carry is from France and Noam Vallot of Racing 92, and already the French ambition plain to see, flashing down the left flank and doing extraordinarily well to stay in play before they have their pockets pinched. The young Lions of Spain with early possession and territory in the French half. Lazy running from the French and a penalty bought by Spain's scrum half, Bernat Fernandez. And early promise rewarded with an opportunity for either points or a penalty into the corner.
Shot. Yep.
Shot called.
That one okay?
Spain
You not do it on purpose? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
fancy the first points of the contest.
Yeah.
Pedro Perez Bueno, who was the joint top points and try scorer in the Spanish Regional Championships, declines the opportunity to open his account here in Vichy. Spain aren't going to get a huge amount of opportunities to score points against this French side, and one has gone begging in the opening 2 minutes. Some goal line dropout, almost to the 22. Spain happy to play with ball in hand. Now, they go to the skies. Skies that haven't seen a cloud in them all day, and so much so that the shadow is almost pitch black on this right half of the field. Advanced by Valentin Puto of Massy, and there are huge numbers here, and there's wonderful vision and even better execution. And now the marauding back row, Matis Argenton, runs out of pitch to work with. A fine scramble from Spain, but notice serve. Spain eager to open them up on the edges.
Just slow him down, just slow him down.
An early bit of attention. It has been blisteringly hot all day today. This is the third game that this pitch is seeing. And there will be water breaks at the midpoint of each half. Claimed and then spilt by Spain. The hands of Marcos Sanz, putting them under a bit of unnecessary pressure.
Wait.
Product of the Madrid Rugby Centre, and that clearance isn't on the money either. Spain living by their wits and a slightly charmed existence in the 22. Big carry arriving from Markel Odriozola, but he finds himself forced to hold on as the support arrives a beat too late, and a penalty to France.
What are you doing? What is your decision? Okay, we can do that. If we need to stop them, that's okay, but let's just play for line.
Attention being administered at the moment.
Yeah.
Julian Barret
Let's go.
opts for the corner. Meron Fahy of Perpignan takes a modest touch finder. I think his pack would have liked to have slotted that a little tighter to the try line. Last time these two met
Do we have a sub on?
was in 2018.
Can we play?
And the likes of
Okay, just hold. Just one
Mathis
more.
Lebel, Leo Carbonel, among those in French colours. That was in Rugby Europe in the Under-18 Championship. They've never met at a Six Nations because this is the first time a Spanish side has featured. And they're not overwhelmed by the occasion, that's for sure. Fine feet on show and a far too ambitious offload from Noam Valot. The Racing 92 centre hands a scrum to Spain. Six players who claimed silver in the Rugby Europe Championship last year are involved today for Spain, so a bit of championship experience, bit of championship success among the ranks. But they are flat out in reverse at that scrum, though illegally so. Saved by the referee's whistle and France's inability to stay legal on this occasion. That smacks of a school trip, and why not? Presumably in the holidays, and with the next generation of Six Nations talent on the doorstep, you'd be mad to not expose young minds to this rugby. No points scored so far.
Away. Yes, okay, the ball is there. Ball is there.
Spain foraging for that ball.
Back.
We're getting some clean service at the moment. Little under-resourced as the ball has slipped out the back, but that is fabulous strength from Marciniak. A little bit loose now. No advantage played. France at the moment, and their indiscretions are just feeding this Spanish side. Touch found by Perez. He wasn't happy with the return, that's for sure. But Spain with an entry into the French 22. They go to the middle and they claim it smartly. Spain pouring forward. The young Lions roaring in these opening exchanges. France can only bring it down illegally. Spain tap, they go, surge to the line, and it is an opening score on a historic day for the Spanish. Marcos Lopez etches his name into Spanish Under-18's history, the first ever try scorer at a Six Nations festival. And it's no less than what Spain deserve. Pedro Perez. This time is bang on target. The try maximised by the right boot of the fullback. Spain have shot out of the traps. France are shell-shocked. And the Spaniards lead 7 points to 0 with 10 minutes and a bit of change played.
Timing good. Timing good. Tackle.
France
Take it
potentially
back in.
reinvigorated by that concession, throw their bodies into the challenges. And now they can throw themselves forward from deep. Oh, silky dummy follows the aggressive dismissal
Tackle.
of the challenger. It's a great buzz in the stadium, but there may just be a yellow card. No, there isn't, just a penalty. That could prove to be a shrewd decision, because a penalty is a good return, because if that pass had stuck, France were in and behind Spain. It was the inside ball to the trailing run of Valentin Huto.
Let's go.
France through their captain, Barret, into the 22. Ramping up the carries. Oh, the breakdown is chaos at the moment, and that's just how the Spanish will want it. They will be desperate to deny the French quick ball, but it's artfully unlocked by the handling of Huto, who has Hatuma on his shoulder. Lost forward though, in amongst the clinch, and Spain survive. There are a number of players for Spain who are in France. Lucas Martin at Bayonne, so too Talmo Fischer.
For me to lead. Okay.
Markel Odrizola at Biarritz, and Marcignac, a former Toulouse espoir. But 18 of the 26 players selected for this competition are all playing their rugby out of Spain. They're all part of the regional rugby centres that the National Academy have set up. In Spanish rugby right now is riding on the crest of a wave. Qualified for the Men's Rugby World Cup in Australia. Las Leonas with one to look forward to in less than 100 days, and now here at their first Under-18s festival, fighting off France. First sighting of Joachim Senga-Ku Gilbert, and now they surge down the right-hand side, swatting away the attempts. Virgile Trot almost wriggles free, but gets dragged down 5 meters shy. France building through their big ball carriers, almost a jackal, but doesn't quite stick. Desperate defense. 2 men in each hit for Spain, and it needs to be. They pick and go round the right. Disciplined D from Spain until it's not.
Please. Offside.
Hands on heads from the French forwards, who were working so hard to make this 22 entry count. What about that for the hands? And then the strength of Dro.
Is he in line out? Is he in there? No. Okay, let's play.
Well, they got caught in two minds. Would they drive? Would they break? They break, and then they come back to the right-hand side. Big, powerful Amir Hatouma is too much from close range. Spinning to the paint. France respond. They open their account for this year's festival. The big boy from Bordeaux had two Spaniards clinging to him, but it wasn't enough to deny the loose head. Not only the strength, but also the sense of where the touchline and the try line were.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Lasered. What a kick. A fine, fine effort to the man whose break really got it all going for the French. Virgil Dro adds the extras to Hatouma try. .17.5 minutes played, and we're at sevens. Well, the chase was a little pedestrian from the Spanish. Kick was long and it demanded a much hungrier hunt. And they're allowing France too much room out wide. They lose the ball but backwards. And then the scrambling Dro, who is having some say across these last 5 minutes, advances France forward.
No.
Backdoor boogie, you love to see it. And France are pulling out all the tricks. Oh, sit down. Defense rushes up and still the freedom to release the offload. French rugby is its finest. Lost forward, advantage being played.
Okay.
Pedro Perez all wrapped up, but just a glimpse of the gifts in France's attacking toolbox. A breathless passage.
Water break.
Draws the first water break. The game will restart in a moment, with France and Spain locked at 7 points apiece.
So they both clearly want to play. Yes, they both want space. They both want quick ball. Okay, so that's our focus. Make sure they have space. Make sure they have quick ball. Okay, go team. Yes, let's go. That's okay. That's okay.
Hydrated and rejuvenated.
Last one.
Packs prepared to engage.
Much better than first.
Federico Seguro, Josep Mikel Alapont, and Lucas Martin.
Okay.
The front three for Spain, and Amir
Let's get set.
Hatuma, Giovanni Tafili, and Noah Tinirello. The three French monsters who are binding up and awaiting the arrival of 5 similarly large young men behind them. France slip it into first, crunch through the gears, and they obliterate the Spaniards. It looks like a long day in the front row when it comes to scrum time for Spain. France will be full of confidence knowing they can weaponise that throughout the game. Tafili, asked too much of his jumper, and now Spain flash it through the hands, but maybe their ambition exceeds their execution. A beautiful pickup from Valo. Well, who's got it? Who wants it? There's a lot of talk in between those arms. Miraculously, Pablo Sanchez emerges from the tussle with Guti, and Spain clear the decks. Immense strength from the Spanish centre. Gets the better of the French Open side.
For me, straight on elbows, okay? Good reaction though, good reaction. Thank you.
Off the top, France go. They want to play with tempo. They want to allow their feet and their hands to do the talking. Crunching shot. Brings a halt to the move. You can see the intention of the way that the forwards are carrying. They want to free their arms up beyond the contact to work the offload. Chip into some unguarded space. Because all of a sudden it's guarded. To be cuter than that, to catch out Pedro Perez.
11.
France into the corner once more from the penalty. But they need to get their line-out drills right if they're going to profit. Bit of pressure on Giovanni Tafili of Brive. Bank a ball at the front. That's the best way to exercise the demons of a missed throw the time before. Tafili installed, the ball smuggled backwards, and now the blue wave crashes across the Spanish defensive shores. And France have their second. Muted celebrations. France have had to battle to that Spanish line, but eventually the power play and Oscar Butez at the bottom of the heap.
Good toss.
Where are you from, Scotland?
Scotland.
First time in Vichy? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
Well, from closer in, Virgil Trot can't make it stick on this occasion, but France have the lead.
Yes, yes, play. No.
11 minutes of the half remaining.
Take it back.
70-minute matches at the Under-18s Festival. A reflection on the ages and also a four-day turnaround as well.
Thank you.
That these teams will face. Beautiful fears on the wide ball from Fahy. And France scampering in those dark shadows, but also shining in the light. Muscular D arriving from Lucas Martin and co. They are round the corner, a dog leg opens up, and goodness me, that was far too lax from Virgil Trout. The opportunity gone begging by the casual nature of the pass. A 3-on-1. Spain do have the ball pinched from them. It was the long arm of the try scorer, Boutez.
No.
Now, one of the early replacements, Mattis Locatelli of Oyana, charges on forward. The captain, Barret, doesn't carry it in because Kuti does instead. Spain just can't resist getting their hands in. France will feast on these penalties. What do they do here? Big blindside to work with. I wonder if a scrum is the option. Well, it's worse for shoulders because Tafili fancies a tap and carry. Instructions barked at his teammates that it was only going to be one man. Oh, it was the right idea, but the wrong pass.
No.
France recover and rebuild. Big clear out. Speed arriving from deep, and Valo finds the pass too hot to handle.
Yes.
Just not quite clicking for France. But that is not to take anything away from the tackling of the Spaniards.
Okay. Right. Is he in scrum? Yes. Time off. Stop. Let's go. Okay. Crutch! Bind! Set!
Luna Fernandez
Hold!
has got a devil of a job to fish that ball out of a forest of legs.
Okay, we reset.
They're only travelling one direction and at
I need
pace.
you to remember 1.5 meters. I need you to stop. Okay? I will try and be louder. You try and stop. Okay? Okay? Reset. C'est bon.
when you look
I will try and be like
at the
this.
dimensions
Yes.
of these young men, and you also have been admiring their skill levels, it's easy to forget that they are just under 18 and they can't be driving beyond 1.5 meters.
Crouch!
Reminded by the man in the middle.
Bind!
This is not adult senior rugby, although the quality would make you feel like it is. It's an interesting kick, finding some green space and a bit of confusion in the backfield, but Fahi's there to link up with his fullback. First glimpse of him bouncing around. Oh, beautiful hands, and just as the chip was coming in, the tackle arrived and trips Gaultier Saraute. Who tumbles awkwardly.
Cease to go. Cease.
6 minutes to go.
We have played Vant enough. Back.
A bit of volleyball. Vichy style from the Spanish pack. Falls in their favour. And pressure relieved once more, albeit momentarily. Sliced off the boot. Artiles plays his rugby in Valencia. Unable to find the touch finder he wanted. To Philly. Spears it to the middle jumper. Oh, Spain have got their hands in there and they created a bit of chaos. Fine work and then a brilliant carry on forward.
Take it back.
They target the touchline, they get an awkward bounce, but there's a lot of room here that France don't know how to maximise.
Okay. Just knock on and tackle.
Knocked on in the tackle, so scrum advantage for France. Spain will be content with that because they're playing rugby in the halfway line. Another inside ball, this time doesn't unpick the Spanish defence. And you see the muscularity of the carries from the French forwards.
And they tackle her away quicker. Tackle her.
You heard right there, he was happy with the work of Lucas Martin. But it was the tackle he hadn't rolled away that allowed him to get in there and poach the ball. Faye finds touch. There, that was the breakdown that delivered the penalty. Tafili, not on the money again, and Spain survive once more. Now they're into the French half, not in possession, mind.
Retreat.
How big is that boot, though? A monster. Oh, my goodness.
50-22, yes.
A mighty 50-22 that took a wicked bounce. But let's not take anything away from the cannon that's attached to the right boot of Valentin Houteau. Extraordinary.
Two minutes.
They make it easy for Tafili.
Away now.
France target the front. The hooker is latched on. He pops up the periscope to see left or right, and he chooses a dead end that only has red jerseys at the bottom. Spain are in disarray. They're all offside and infringing, fighting for their try line's life. Width on offer here for France with the penalty in the back pocket. A little ponderous in the centre and a shoveled offload too. Ooh, awkward fall as the Spanish player had to leap to claim the pass. France tap, they go, and they go right through the hearts of the Spanish defence. It is a brace for Butes. The big second row, who's shown the dynamism of a back row, on hand to receive a gift from Huto. With Spain reeling, it was light work for the second row.
Yes, let's go. You have 20 seconds. Va.
With the assistance of a lick of pain, Virgil Troll and Spain add and France, I beg your pardon, add the extras, and they add a gloss to the scoreboard at the half-time interval. They have not had it all their own way. Spain have been excellent value in their first 35 minutes of Under-18's festival action. But they head to the half-time huddles, trailing France 19 points to 7.